Well, morning everyone. Hopefully you can hear me over the noise of my Morris Minor. I'm recording on a microphone, so hopefully it's a bit better than the last time I tried this. This journey will look very similar to one of my first videos, my second video I think. I'm on my way to Goodwood for the last of the breakfast clubs of the year. So it's the classic car breakfast club. The last one I went to was a sort of a mixed one for their 100th birthday of the event, and there were quite a few cars I didn't know what they were, so thank you to the person who put in the comments on that video what some of the cars were. With this being the classic car one, I'm going to recognise a few more of them. I'm still not brave enough to do the commentary as I walk around, so I will be doing it as a voiceover afterwards. But yeah, there are a few cars in front of me there, some Jaguars. I'm assuming they're going to the event, but they must be in the event, whereas I'm just heading to the car park, which is this way. But yeah, I will catch up with you when I'm at the show. We'll see what we see. So here we are on the way into the show. It's a Land Rover forward control with a Austin A40 Farina on the back and another forward control. I've seen those before, the forward control Land Rovers with a Lotus Cortina on the back, I think. So it's quite lucky to get into the show at the point that the cars were driving in. So there's a Chevrolet Camaro there at the front, and in fact I think that might be a Corvette in front of that. This bit's a bit slow because they're trying to get them all in, but you'll see later there's just two marshals doing this, but they did a good job getting everyone in and lined up. So yeah, there's the Camaro. Now this is an MGC, I believe. You can tell from the fact that it's got a bonnet bulge and then another bulge on top of that. I can't quite remember whether that's because it's got a bigger engine or it's got something on the engine that sticks out. I'm not sure. An E-Type Jag, and there was a Jensen Healey behind it. Now on a Vauxhall Viva. So there's the Jensen Healey again. There were quite a few of these in the show. I've never really seen them before. Quite distinctive headlights. Yeah, panning round the Vauxhall Viva, and then a hard top Ford Mustang, a Mini with, I think it's this one. Yeah, the Mini's got Garfield written on the side, and I don't know whether that means anything or it's just the name of the car. That is a Mark 1 Triumph Spitfire, followed by a BMW convertible, and then an old, like early 60s Chevrolet Corvette behind it. Bit of a standstill at the moment. There is a bit more movement in a minute. Just looking down what we've got coming up. As I said, there's 120 of these cars. I didn't do so much of walking around the show because it was very busy. There's a bit more to the end. Also, you can see in the left of the picture there, the grandstands are up, ready for the Goodwood revival. I think that's about a week away now from when I'm talking now, the end of August. I think it's the first or second week of September. Oh, here we go again. So, yeah, we've got the Chevrolet Corvette, followed by another MGC. And then behind is an Aston Martin 2-litre Sports. And an MGB behind. And behind that's quite an interesting car. I had to look up what it is. It's a Ford Country Squire. That particular model was built between 1957 and 1959. It's huge. But what I found interesting as well, that it's right-hand drive. So I don't know whether it's been converted or they were sold in the UK. I don't know anything about them. But yeah, as you can see, it's massive. Got a Triumph Stag and something American. Don't know what it is. But it's very distinctive, so I imagine someone will be able to identify it. Yeah, American vehicle, and then I think it's another Stag behind. And then a Triumph TR6 followed by another Stag. There's quite a lot of TR Triumphs in the show, and I think I've been able to identify them right. Someone can tell me if I've got one wrong. Yeah, so a TR6, a Triumph Stag, and then behind it is a Minerva Land Rover. You can see it's a left-hand drive, and they were, I looked them up, they're built under license for the Belgium army. And behind that, a Mini. And then a very early, I think that's a Mark 1 Mini. It's got sliding windows and the exposed external hinges. Then a Mark 1 Capri. A Mercedes, I don't know what Mercedes it is. And then a Ford Mustang GT350, followed by a Chevy pickup. I'm not sure you can see in the light, but it's got sign writing on it for the 247 Carpentry, Chichester. Might just be able to see it there on the door, maybe can't read it. We've then got another Mustang hardtop. Then this, I think, is a Mark 1 Jag, not a Mark 2. I think there might be a Mark 2 later, I can't remember. This one's a Mark 1. I think. Little Lotus Elan and a Morris Minor convertible, followed by a Mini Countryman, which is one of two that are in the show. There's sort of a blue, I think it's called a Bermuda Blue, maybe the other one, which I've seen before. Haven't seen this one before though. We've got something a bit unusual. This is a Burton kit car. Don't know much about them. This next one, not 100% sure I've identified it properly, but I think it's a Worsley 1500. And then behind that is a C3 Chevy Corvette. Then coming in behind that is a car I don't think I've ever seen. So the front of it looks like the Jensen Healey's, which there's a few of in the show, but this is a shooting brake, and it's called a Jensen GT. I don't know how it sort of fits in the sort of history with the Jensen Interceptor, which is, I guess, also a shooting brake, but completely different. Here, an MGB GT, and I think that's a 1275 GT Mini. Porsche 911. I don't know much about Porsches. And then I think that is a TR4A, maybe a 4. I think it's hard to, from what I've looked up, it's hard to tell from looking at them whether it's a 4 or a 4A. So I'm not sure. Now this one is also interesting. So this is I think it's a 60s. It's called 60s car. It's called a Cougar Sports Roadster. And now this one, little race car, I'm not quite sure. What I've got a photo of it I took later that says it's a Healey. So I don't know whether it's a type of Austin Healey, but the front end looks a bit different. So maybe that's a custom front end for the race car. See lots of other cars in the background that I didn't film. There's an E-Type Jag coming in, Citroen DS, Volkswagen Beetle, and a Mustang. I think the Beetle's parking up in it next to another Beetle, and there's a E-Type Jag over there. I think that was a soft top one. They were having issues with, I think, water leaking out of it. Another NGC, there you can see more clearly the double bulge. We've got another Jensen Healey coming in. There were quite a few of them, as I said, but actually I think I only got 2 of them on camera. So I think this is sort of on the Goodwood track. I think it's the runoff area near the chicane before you get to the start-finish line. MGA. Chevrolet Corvette with custom wheels and custom paint. Can't remember, but it's called a Type 2, with the Beetle being the Type 1. Early Porsche. I looked it up. I think that would make it a 356. Could be a replica though. Mark 1 Volkswagen Scirocco. And a modified 2CV, which I forgot to go back and look at. Quite a lot going on there. Tinted windows, non-standard I assume, paint, and the wheels.
You're right, that is
I think that's a copy of the Austin Healey. Well, this is interesting, isn't it? I think it's a Chevrolet Corvette. See a bit more in a minute. Just from the shape of Corvette, yeah, bit unusual. And I don't know what that is. I couldn't spot any clues to help me look up what it is either, so I didn't try. A Daimler Dart, I believe they are a fiberglass body, quite an unusual looking car as well, but I think quite a capable sports car, capable of quite high speed. And then an AC Cobra or replica kit car behind it.
Oh, really?
And then we get into some more TR Triumphs. So I think one coming in next is a TR4, based on the badge on the back, but I don't know whether they ever actually badged the TR4A as a 4A, or whether it just had a 4 badge. So yeah, I don't know, it's a 4 or a 4A, followed by a TR6, 2 TR6s, see in the background there the hangars for Goodwood Airfield, where they do Spitfire flights. They've got a sort of tandem cockpit Spitfires, so you can pay to go up in them if you can afford it. I can't. Yeah, so the 2 TR6s parking up next to the TR4 4A.
Were you here the year I got told off by the marshals for razzing out? Coming down, he used to bring you in, you took that chocolates that were still, and I borrowed Steve's ever since.
Ford Mustang. So we're about halfway through now dog on like about 60 cars now out of 120 that I filmed. And then there's a Mark 1 Escort coming in. Now it's got the decals of a Mexico. It looks like a Mexico, although I'm not sure they have DRS wheels on them as standard. But it might not be. It's hard to tell. There's lots of replicas. This is a car that's on my list. I would like to own one day, but got very expensive now. I think partly because they were in there was one in a Fast and Furious film. That probably put the prices up a bit. And now we're into the show in the sort of paddock area. That was a Chevrolet Corvette. Racing, or 2 racing Porsches, maybe 911s, I don't know. This is a TR3A. I think the wider grille makes it an A, but as you can see they never badged them as A's. And there's a Mark 1 Lotus Cortina, although I think I've heard that the originals were never actually in the Lotus green and white. There's 2 here, Marcus GTs. Car I don't know much about, although I feel like it was a sort of a low volume manufacturer, Marcus. This is a Triumph 2000 Estate. And I'm not quite sure, I won't tell what this is, but I think it might be an Austin Healey. With the bonnet up, it's hard to tell now. It's a Mustang. And the next one's an American car, and I'm guessing it's a Studebaker because that's what it says on the bottom of the number plate. But other than that, I have no idea. So checking it there. When I get through the people, street engine. I can't remember what it is. Possibly a V8. But I don't know what sort of vehicle it is. Now this is called a Ford XL, which is a variant of a Ford Galaxy. Little Lotus 7-foot car, or a replica of one maybe. Fit 500. An Alfa Romeo Spider.
22 years ago.
Now I believe this is a Mark II Jag, the one we saw earlier, Mark 1, and I think the difference is the side lights or indicators are slightly different. Well, this has round rather than sort of lozenge shape. Now this is a Ford 100E. It might be a Popular or an Anglia. It's not a Prefect because that would have 4 doors. Because of that, I don't know. A Jaguar. Can't tell you more than that. E-type Jaguar. And then a Lancia. I don't know what sort. And someone tells you what this is in a minute, a red car. Triumph Spitfire Mark 3. MG Midget. An MG EF. Another MGC. See the second bulge just to the right there. The main bulge. Now this is a Sunbeam Imp. I was thinking it was a Sunbeam, and it is a Stiletto, but it's not. It's that was no Morris Minor. Now this is a Renault 8, and I think it's a Renault 8 Gordini, but I'm not sure. A little Lotus Elan next to a Fit 500.
I think this
And
one's
then
always
an American car, which I think is a Ford Galaxy. I'm not sure.
We released a
And then next to it,
Discovery
Porsche 914.
Yeah, I see that. I think I might have been on the end.
And I think this is a Sunbeam Rapier. And then the car next to it, I'm not sure, but it says Mercury in the lettering on the bonnet, on the front there. Other than it being massive, I don't know. There's an interesting car coming up, and all the information I know about it is from the board that's in front of it. It's the car just over there we're walking towards now. So it's a 1966 Fiat Abarth 1000 OTR Prototipo, which I'm assuming means prototype. Now I've got a couple of Austin Healey's, different sorts, I think. Maybe an Austin Healey 100, and this is a 3000, but I don't know. This is a Worsley 1560, which will have a B series engine as opposed to the Morris Minor's A series. This is a Sunbeam Tiger, I think. And then next to it we've got the other Mini Countryman. We saw a red one earlier. This is one I've seen before. This car I struggled with. Is it a Mustang? I'm not sure. I didn't really look at it for long enough to work it out. And then I had to go around the back to double check what this is. This is a Triumph Vitesse. So I think styling wise it looks like a Herald, but it's got the 6-cylinder engine that is in the TR cars. Now this one's interesting. This is an Aronde, a Simica Aronde Line CL. I'm not sure of the pronunciation. But yeah, that car is the only one in the country. So some American cars here. Is that a Cadillac? I don't know. The red one. The blue one is a Cadillac Bel Air. But yeah, I'm not good on American cars. And then next to it is a big. So here's the Bel Air. I know it's a Bel Air because on that white panel on the back it says Bel Air. There we go. And then yeah, so this big Bentley with a big sort of picnic table, I guess it is, that folds out the back. And then another big Cadillac, I think. Just have a look at the front of the Bentley. And then a Chevrolet pickup truck. And then just some photographs of other cars. We're getting towards the end, so thank you for watching. So obviously this is my Morris Minor. This is a Triumph GT6. I think it's a Mark III. Frog Eye Sprite. Austin Healey Frog Eye Sprite. And then this is a Rover P6 Estate. And so the conversion's done by, it's called an Estora. Then this is an Australian Ford. I think it's a full Ford Falcon, but I'm not sure. And then yeah, another picture of the Aronde, the Simica Aronde. And as I was saying, this is the only one in the UK. And then to finish with a little Austin A35 van. So yeah, thank you everyone who's watched this. Just back to my Morris Minor there. And yeah, continue to like, subscribe, comment, and thank you.